I'm back. And so it seems are the Raptors. Well, some of the Raptors. Anyways, hello everyone and welcome to Let's Talk Raptors. I'm your host Atisham, my channel where you get reviews, analysis, predictions, and hot takes on all things Raptors as well as some NBA. So before I get into anything else, I just want to do this. So that round of applause is for all of the players that showed up for the Raptors today, to help us out, given that we have 10 players in freaking COVID protocols. But DJ Wilson, Morgan, Waters, and Arturo, those guys came in and, gave us a little bit of oomph, at least in the first quarter. But I wanted to just give a shout out to all the players that have been in and out of the league and just, coming in, helping teams out, knowing very well that they might not stay here after their 10-day contracts, and it's just respect for them, man, because they played hard today. I gotta give them that. They tried their best, and I'll get into exactly why it was just a shit fest today for us. So without a further ado, let's talk Raptors versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. So the Raptors came in. First of all, they only had Chris Boucher from their main lineups. They had Sivi Mihailuk, Yuta Watanabe, and Delano Banton. Those were four guys available out of our 16-man roster. So that tells you we didn't have anybody. And what happened was, the replacement players actually arrived in Cleveland at 2 p.m., 4 hours prior to the game, just to get in some, walkthroughs, and they were thrown into the game. And that's exactly why we lost this game by 45 points. And we started off pretty good. The first quarter, the guys came in, everybody gave their best, and by that time we were down by one. And eventually, Cavaliers had I think Kevin Love, Garland, most of their starters, and they ended up taking over the game and they beat our ass, which is understandable. If I was in that situation, I wouldn't take any team easy. I would be putting the hammer on them. But there are some key takeaways we can take from this game. I'm not going to summarize the game because it wasn't that great to watch anyways, but I still watched all of it. Because we hadn't had a game for the past 6 or 8 days or something. It was just boring. So first key takeaway is that the NBA is doing a horrible job in trying to figure out the COVID issue. They've been very good in the past, but recently they are still forcing teams to play, and it's resulting in just, games that aren't even competitive, and it's extreme boredom. And I get what they're trying to do. They're just trying to get through the season, but there's certain ways you can do it. You can take a week halt. You have people in COVID protocol. You can make it more restrictive once people return. So a week full break of everybody. And I understand the revenue and the issue that might come out, but you can just give a double headers, more of them, that teams end up missing a week of the games for. But that's just my first key takeaways. I just feel like the NBA can do a better job than they're doing right now in order to facilitate games that are more meaningful than the ones that we are getting. Even though the Lakers against Brooklyn was pretty good yesterday, but still, come on, man, this is not fun to watch. And it's no knock on the players that are coming in. It's just you're used to watching your team a certain way, and seeing players that are coming in, there's no rhythm. It's not as interesting as it should be. And there's you want to have at least one star or somebody playing in the team to enjoy watching the game, because they're going to try to take over the game. Today we had Chris Boucher doing that, and I will get to that. So that's my first key takeaway. Second key takeaway is I want the damn Cavaliers. I'm not talking about the fans, okay? I understand the fans. They're going to cheer the hell out of their team no matter who they're playing, and they're going to enjoy the dunks and everything like that. But I want the Cleveland fucking Cavaliers players to have the same damn energy when they play our full roster, okay? I see them kicking on the bench, jumping up and down on dunks, just acting all. I understand they want to whoop our ass. That's fine. But you don't have to throw it in our face. And the players were doing that. If the fans are doing it, understandable. But players need to respect the game and respect that teams are in a difficult situation. Just because you have your players doesn't mean the other team is crap. So for you to be cheering up and down and doing everything on the bench, like, oh my God, you're beating the Brooklyn Nets or Phoenix Suns and shit, as a player, is completely disrespectful, and it is not sportsmanlike conduct. And I want the Cavaliers team to have the same energy when they play, when we have everybody back and they play us, because they ain't getting this energy that time. Okay? So you to disrespect our team this way, you to disrespect players that came in this way it's not cool. And I did not enjoy that. So that was my second key takeaway, because I want the Cavaliers. Honestly, I want them to have this damn same energy. The third key takeaways, guys, I saw some, players that I think might be good for the Raptors, actually. Honestly, DJ Wilson looked good. So did Morgan. And Waters actually looked a little bit, collective, at least in the start of the game. After, and by the mid to late, he started turning the ball over a little bit more because he was trying to do too much. But he, those are players I'm thinking, like, Morgan looked pretty good. He was a big body and he had, physicality there. He was able to shoot the three a little bit. DJ Wilson looks smooth from the mid range. And the player I think would help us out on the center position, Daniel Oturo, he was able to hang in there with big bodies. He was more physical. He was able to keep his balance in the post. And he did a pretty good job setting screens too. So these are players, like, I think these are some of the players that we could target, because this transitions into my fourth key takeaway, and that is Chris Boucher. I've always been a fan of this guy, but I'm okay with him being traded, because he came out of this game trying to act like a star, not doing everything properly, turned the ball over so many times. And honestly, I think it's about time we find something better or more stable coming off the bench that makes better decisions. That is the biggest issue with Chris Boucher that I see. Today was his time to shine and become the guy who can, guide these young guys to at least a respectable game. But he was playing like he was, out of control. And it didn't look nice. Like, I think it's time we move on from Chris Boucher. He's getting older, and there's more people coming down the pipe, like, Justin Champagny, Precious Achua, and those guys should get more time. And if we can get something good for Chris Boucher, on the market, like a shooting guard coming off the bench to help, because CV is not doing good either. But I don't want to give up on him just yet, because he shows flashes of something great. But Chris Boucher, it's about time. Honestly, I think we need to move on from this guy, get a shooting guard off the bench that can give us a spark, kind of like, we're not going to get Jordan Clarkson, but something like that. Like, it's close enough. That can help stabilize that second unit. And at the center position, we're going big anyways. But out of these guys, I would like take DJ Wilson and Morgan, or even DJ Wilson and Otoro, or whoever, like a combination of them to sit on the deep bench and, come in if we need to be. But if we have Precious, if we have Cam, if we have Justin Champagny, I don't see Chris Boucher being as good of a filler coming off the bench anymore. Honestly, people are going to hate me for it, because Raptors love Chris Boucher, but it's time to move on. And even if he comes back with the next game being too good and all that stuff, I still don't think he is there anymore. He was showing flashes of being good, and he's been consistent in scoring points, but his decision making is just so bad, it doesn't fit with the Raptors. And then the fourth key takeaway I have is Yuta Watanabe. I think it's the fifth one. Last one. Yuta Watanabe, man. If you let that guy go play, he goes crazy. He was damn good today. He carried us. He played like 40 some minutes, and he had about 26 points, I think. And he was doing everything: rebounding, getting to the bucket, shooting the three, handling the ball, doing some great passes. And I think Utah needs to have more role. I think until CV comes back, I think Utah needs a more primary role in the offense, especially coming off the bench. So that's what I saw from this game. I know there wasn't much there, and it was a complete crap fest for the Raptors, because we just didn't have the players. We had 8 players, man. 8 players. How the hell do you play a game with that? And out of those 8, all of them were bench. None of them were starters. And some of them were out of the leagues, if you know what I mean. So that was it. We play the Philadelphia Sixers on the Tuesday. Hopefully, we'll have some of our guys back. But again, I said it a million times. I want these damn Cleveland Cavaliers players to have the same fucking bounce when they play our team, because they ain't having this type of game. We're gonna beat their ass. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for you guys for this video. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys after the Tuesday game. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and happy Merry Christmas to everybody that celebrated, and happy holidays, guys.